गुलशन में, छुपा है कोई रंज फिजा की चिलमन में। सारे सहम नजारे हैं, सोए सोए वक्त के धारे हैं, और दिल में कोई कोई सी बातें हैं। ओ कैसे कहें क्या है सितम, सोचते हैं अब ये हम, कोई कैसे कहे वो है या नहीं हमारे। करते तो हैं साथ सफर, फासले हैं फिर भी मगर, जैसे मिलते नहीं किसी दरिया के दो किनारे। पास है फिर भी पास नहीं, हमको ये गम रास नहीं। शीशे की एक दीवार है जैसे दरमिया, हमने जो था नगमा सुना, दिल ने था उसको चुना। ये दास्तान हमें वक्त ने कैसी सुनाई, हम जो अगर हैं गमगी वो भी उधर खुश तो नहीं। मुलाकातों में है जैसे घुल सी गई तन्हाई, मिलके भी हम मिलते नहीं, खिल के भी गुल खिलते नहीं। आँखों में है बहारे, दिल में खिजा।
Congregation can be seated, please. Thank you for coming today to celebrate this love between a man and a woman and celebrate their life together. Thank you for being here. We're gathered together here in the sight of God in the presence of these witnesses to join together this man and this woman in holy matrimony, which is an honorable estate, instituted of God in the time of man's innocency, signifying to us the mystical union that exists between Christ and his church. This holy estate Christ adorned and beautified with his presence at the first miracle he wrought at Cana of Galilee, and St. Paul commanded as being honorable among all men. It is therefore not to be entered into unadvisedly, but reverently, discreetly, and in the fear of God. Kritti and Varghese, I require and charge you both in the presence of God to remember that commitment to marriage is a commitment to permanence. It is the intent of God that your marriage will be for life, and that only death will separate you. If the vows you exchange today to be kept will be kept without violation, and you always seek to know and do the will of God, your lives will be blessed with his presence, and your home will be a peaceful place. Who gives this woman to be married to this man?
My wife, myself, and the whole Bakura clan and the extended family.
Great. Come closer. Okay. Face me. I want you to face me. Face me. You both face me, shoulder to shoulder. There you go, right there. Perfect. I'm reading from 1 Corinthians chapter 13. If I speak in the tongues of men and angels, but do not have love, I'm only a resounding gong and a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and cannot fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor, give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. Keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part and we prophesy in part, but when completeness comes, what is in part disappears. When I was a child, I talked as a child, I thought as a child, I reasoned as a child. When I became a man, I put away childish things behind me. For now we see only reflection as in a mirror, then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And now these three remain, faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. Varghese, will you have this woman to be your wedded wife, to live together after God's holy ordinance in a state of matrimony? Will you love her, comfort her, honor and keep her in sickness and in health? And forsaking others, will you keep yourself only unto her, so as long as you both shall live? If so, answer, I will.
I will.
Kritti, will you have this man to be your wedded husband, to live together after God's ordinance in the holy estate of matrimony? Will you love, honor, and keep him in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, keep yourself only unto him for as long as you both shall live? If so, answer, I will. Varghese and Kritti, marriage is an institution established by God. It was established by God from the beginning of time as an example set forth by us with God and Adam and Eve. God's plan and blessings come into marriage between one man and one woman that do their best to establish the joint home as God is the head. Marriage is the foundation of which the family unit is built. Actually, our entire society is built on marriage and family. There is no replacement plan. Apart from each other, man and woman are incomplete. Marriage gives each a sense of belonging and fulfillment that cannot otherwise be obtained. This goal is met at the highest level only when a man and a woman is united in Jesus Christ. That does not mean there's something wrong with singleness, but the scriptures are very clear that God intended for a man to take a wife, and the mysteries of life we are truly fulfilled as God intended, really, in a Christian marriage relationship. God intends for marriage to be a lifelong relationship. We take vows at a wedding ceremony, and God takes these vows very seriously, and he expects us to fulfill our vows. That is why there are witnesses and family present when taking the vows, so there's accountability at the highest standard. A successful marriage requires mutual respect and an ongoing attitude of unselfish concern. A successful marriage is built on the principles of submission and love. This is all possible as a married couple submits to God, and he supplies the grace that cements you together as a man and woman in marriage. The biggest of pictures, a marriage is a small representation of Christ and his church. Christ expects his church to be submissive to the will of God, just as husband and wife will be submissive to each other. Each wanting the best for each other, even to the point of denying their own wants and desires for the better of the other. The biblical example of submission is not some wimpy, mousy concept. Submission in the context of Scripture in marriages brings dignity and wholeness to the married couple that cannot otherwise be obtained. Shall we pray? Father God, we thank you for this couple. Friends, we thank you, Lord, that it's sometimes hard to believe how you bring friends into our life, our paths cross, and relationship grows, and we think so much of Varghese and Kritti. Lord, we pray a prayer of commitment on this marriage today, that they will understand that it is a lifelong commitment. And the vows they're preparing to take are vows that you take very seriously and you expect them to fulfill. So Lord, I pray you bless them, encourage them, good days, bad days, all the days in between. And Lord, I pray early on, that they will come to make you head of their home, and they'll learn to depend on you with all they are. I pray in Jesus' name, amen. You can face each other and share your vows now, if you would. Go ahead, Varghese. Go first. I'm going to take this off so maybe you can hear him. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. These are my vows to you, Kritti Kumara Batra. What I love about you the most is your kindness and compassion towards orphans, children, and animals. I also love how you find humor in the most out-of-the-ordinary things. I will pledge to laugh with you in these out-of-the-ordinary things and will remain your companion throughout our lives. I know last year has been a challenge, but I want you to be what you have told me in the past. Be the light in someone else's life. And I want you to set out what you set your mind to and don't give up. Like the Nike references, just do it. I will continue to protect, cherish, and keep you and our future family in my heart. I will continue to encourage you to grow as an individual and help us work towards our goals, whatever they may be. I promise to love, respect, and cherish our commitment, and keep your life and my life interesting as we grow old together. Also, while we binge watch Netflix, and for some reason you're not there that day, I will not watch an episode while you're not there or a series without you. That's it. These are my vows to you.
I apologize. I'm gonna make this funny because I have to get through this. So, Varghese, when I first met you, I knew in my heart that you would be a piece of work, but it was worth the wait. I promise to, when we have our kids, that they will feel loved and supported by the love and support that you give me, as well as be more specific in their grammar. Specific. I promise to cherish you. I promise to. I have my phone.
It's okay, go ahead.
But,
Say it from your heart.
I know it's on my phone, but yes, both of us, right?
Yeah.
I promise to laugh with you and at you when I bring you back up. I promise to bring joyful communication and laughter in our home when we have good times and the bad times. I promise to take care of you in sickness and in health. I promise to... Okay. I promise that... Can I have my phone, please? I'm just gonna read my phone.
We are you from your phone? Go ahead, it's fine.
I just wanna. Okay.
You're doing good.
Okay.
You're doing good. Say it from the soul, honey.
I know. I was trying to memorize it.
Sorry,
So.
no worries.
Okay.
Say what you remember. It's all fine.
Yeah. I promise that I will love you and take care of our family as well as my own family, and take care of your family now that I have 4 parents and 3 siblings. And as Colin would say, you two are made for each other. And wouldn't you know it, he was right.
Would you? Yeah, good. Good job. Would you face each other and take each other's hands, please? And Varghese, repeat after me. I, Varghese, take you, Kritti. Repeat after me. I, Varghese, take you, Kritti.
I, Varghese, take you, Kritti.
To be my wife.
To be my wife.
To have and to hold.
To have and to hold.
From this day forward.
From this day forward.
For better, for worse.
For better and for worse.
For richer, for poorer.
For richer and for poorer.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
To love and to cherish.
To love and to cherish.
Till death do us part.
Till death do us part.
According to God's holy ordinance.
According to God's holy ordinance.
I pledge you my faith.
I pledge you my faith.
Kritti, repeat after me. I, Kritti, take you, Varghese.
I, Kritti, take you, Varghese.
To be my wedded husband.
To be my wedded husband.
To have and to hold.
To have and to hold.
From this day forward.
From this day forward.
For better, for worse.
For better and for worse.
For richer, for poorer.
For richer and for poorer.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
To love and to cherish.
To love and to cherish.
Till death do us part.
Till death do us part.
According to God's holy ordinance.
According to God's holy ordinance.
And pledge you my faith.
Pledge you.
Yeah. Place this on her finger and hold it while you say these words. Repeat after me. Put it on her finger and hold it there. And repeat after me. With this ring.
This ring
is a token of my love
is a token of my love
and a pledge of my constant loyalty.
and to pledge to my constant loyalty.
Good. You do the same. Put this on his finger and repeat after me. Hold it there as you say these words. This ring I give you as a token of my love and as a pledge of my constant loyalty. Okay, we're going to light the candles now.
There you go.
Now hold it there. Okay. No, leave that one there. Like this one. Okay, then you can hand the candle to your son or daughter. Yeah. Good. You may be seated. You guys can light this candle together.
Right now?
Mm-hmm. Light it together simultaneously.
Oh, there's a lot of wind.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Come on, I'm waiting for you.
There you go.
I burn my hand.
It's okay. Good.
Yep, it worked.
Then you have to blow your candle out because there's no holder. You have to blow it out.
Put it out.
Yeah. Come back around here, Varghese. On this side of her. Over here on this side. And then you guys. You guys
There's some wind. There's a lot of wind. Yeah.
You're welcome to take communion now. Together. It won't only stay lit. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm gonna hold it.
Take the bread first. Yeah, that's all right. It's going to keep going out. Take the bread first. Take it together.
Whenever you're ready. Yes. Yeah, the wind is blowing.
That's all right. This way. It's all right. It's okay. Stand and face the crowd here just a bit. You can hold hands. Just don't leave yet. Shall we pray? Father God, I pray a prayer of blessing on this marriage and union together. I pray, Lord, that you'll keep them free from harm and danger and illness. And you bless their home with children. You watch over them. And Lord, I pray that they will learn to depend on each other like never before. And learn that they want what's best for each other no matter what. So Lord, I pray you bless them and keep them in good and bad, in joys and sadness, in happiness and loss. Just be in all that they are, Lord, I pray in Jesus' name. I'm happy to announce to you for the first time, Mr. Varghese Samuel and Kritti Beltra, husband and wife together in Christian marriage. You may kiss the bride.
All right.
You're welcome to go. Take his arm there. Go out together. There you go. Lord bless you. Wait. The congregation is dismissed for cocktails inside. Family and friends will stay here for a few photos, okay?
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it. of all, thank you very much for coming out and congratulating the lovely couple today. So we're going to be announcing a couple of important people that are going to walk in here shortly. So please help me in welcoming the groom's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Samuel. Awesome, guys. And then next, we have the bride's parents, Dr. Christian and Mrs. John Batra. Round of applause.
तुझ पे कुर्बान मेरी जान ऐ मेरी ज़ोहरा जबी तुझे मालूम नहीं तू अभी तक है हंसी और मैं जवान तुझ पे कुर्बान मेरी जान
Thank you, guys. That was awesome. All right, and next up we have the groom's brother and family, Mr. Matthew and Mrs. Ruthie Samuel and their daughter Hannah Samuel. Please, a round of applause.
Yeah, I'm out at Brooklyn. Now I'm down in Tribeca, right next to the Narrow. But I'll be hood forever. I'm the new Sinatra. And since I made it...
Please help me in welcoming the bride's brother, Dr. Knuckle Batra.
ये गुच्ची अरमानी पिछे रोल दी जवानी चेक कर दी बरंडा वाले टैग नी आज दसा तेनू सोनिए नी फैशन की हुंदा तेरे यार दा ता वखरा स्वैग नी ओ काला कुर्ता पजामा 350 यामा सरदारी वाला चुक्या वलैग नी ओ छुट्टी यारां दी गेम सारे कट ते ये वैम पंगा लेंदा ना है उंज मैंने जैज नी ओ वखरा स्वैग नी
Give it up for the brother! All right, next up, let's welcome the bride's sister and brother-in-law, Mr. Gagan and Dr. Kanchi Chawla. Woohoo! And the moment we've all been waiting for the first time ever, the bride and the groom, Mr. Varghese and Kritti Samuel. Give it up for them, guys.
Well, I know this little chapel on the boulevard we can go. Oh, come on, girl.
Give it up for them one more time, guys. I'm going to introduce the MCs for the rest of the lunch party. It's going to be Mr. Matthew Samuel and Dr. Kanchi Batra. Let's welcome them one more time, guys.
Hello and good afternoon. How are we? Isn't our couple looking amazing today? Thank you all for being here. I'm Kanchi Batra. I am the bride's sister and big fan.
I'm Matthew Samuel. I'm the groom's older brother.
We're very happy to be your MCs today. for our program. And then afterwards, of course, we'll have a little bit of lunch and some food. Hopefully you got some in the cocktail hour. Just want to say a big thank you for everyone coming out because, as we all know, the COVID pandemic has definitely influenced a lot of our lives over the past couple of years. So we appreciate you making the trip and protecting yourselves and protecting everybody else in this room by taking the necessary steps. So really appreciate it. And we hope that all of you and your extended families stay healthy and, of course, happy. So in terms of tonight, we have a couple things going on. I just want to bring attention to some of our families who have traveled from very far distances. First off, we'll give it up to the groom's family who have come about 1,100 miles away from New York. Give it up for the groom's family. Very nice. And then coming in number 2, well, there are a couple people who have come farther than that, of course. So we have our aunt and uncle from Toronto, Canada. Thank you, coming in around 1,300 miles, yeah. And we can't forget our Colorado family, right? All the way out there, more than 2,000 miles away. Thank you so much for coming. And then what about all those Californias soaking in some sun or fog? All the way from Sunnyvale, Taquers and Mukherjees, thank you. But last but not least, bringing in the rear and maybe playing to win a little bit, over 3,000 miles, yours truly, and my husband, Mr. Gagan Chawla from San Francisco. Thank you. Thanks. All right, well, to break it off for the first toast tonight, I'd like my MC, Mr. Matthew Samuel, to go ahead, step forward, and please make your toast on behalf of the groom's family, please. Mr. Matthew Samuel.
This is going to be very short and sweet. I just want to thank everybody for coming on behalf of our family, and I want to wish the bride and groom a long, prosperous, and happy marriage. All right, raise a toast. Yeah. Thank you. Love you. Thank you. Cheers. Cheers.
Yes.
My mother would like to sing a song.
First of all, I would like to thank you for everybody to be here. We are all blessed in each and every way we are, wherever we are. I'd like to submit these newly wedded children in the hands of our mighty Lord. We all have to pray, not to just come and go, but from now onwards we all are supposed to pray for their long, peaceful, happy married life. I would like to sing in our language 4 lines. நல்லவனே நல்வழி காட்டி என்னே வழி நடத்து நல்லவனே நல்வழி காட்டி என்னே வழி நடத்து கோரவைரியன் பின்னில் செங்கடல் முன்பில் என்னே வழி நடத்து நல்லவனே நல்வழி காட்டி என்னே வழி நடத்து സ്നേഹമില്ലാത്തിടങ്ങളിൽ സ്നേഹം പകരാൻ മനസ്സുതരൂ നിന്നിതരേ പീഡിതരെ പരിപാലിപ്പാൻ കൃപയരുളൂ നിന്റെ കാലടിയിൽ പാദമൂന്നി നടക്കാൻ എന്നെ രക്ഷിക്കൂ നല്ലവനേ നൽവഴി കാട്ടി എന്നെ വഴി നടത്തു. താങ്ക് യു.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Auntie. Another round of applause for the mother of the groom. At this time, I'd like to invite one of Kritti's and Verghese closest friends, Mr. Manny Diamante, up here for his, please.
How you guys doing? You guys look beautiful. All right, guys, welcome to Kritti and Verghese's wedding. Give it up for the beautiful couple. I'm gonna make this short and sweet because anybody that knows me knows I could talk for days and days and days. But, see, but I just want to say, of all the ups and downs, the highs, the lows, you guys, you finally made it. You know, falling in love, it's a beautiful thing. And being married is falling in love with the same person over and over again. Congratulations, you guys. Blessings, love, cherish each other. We're here for you. We all love you. God bless.
I'd now like to invite our groom and bride to stand in front of their table for the Sanjar ceremony. Mr. Manny Diamante will be reading while we play a special song for the bride and groom, and they commence their Sanjar ceremony.
Sand ceremony. In the same manner that 25 years of marriage is called silver anniversary, and 50 years is called the gold anniversary. The newlywed couple celebrated their union with sand. It's called the sand ceremony. Its name originated in ancient times when a couple who was to be wed took sand from over their birthplaces and poured it into one container, symbolizing their union. The couple was putting each a grain of sand to indicate their marriage. Each grain has an endless meaning. The time they will have to live for the rest of their lives, the moments they will share, the belongings they both shall acquire. Their experiences will live together. This ancient ceremony, which was of great significance, originally and distinction, then has come into the 21st century. Every time the sand clock is turned over, symbolically means your marriage is refreshed. The grains will be the same, but always flowing over time. The importance, the value, take advantage, and not to waste time in your marriage. As the poet Benedetti said, the couple are not two, they are more than two.
साथ ले चल यूं संग तेरे सफर
right? I'd like to invite the bride, Kritti, and her father to the dance floor for the father-daughter dance. Please join yourselves on the dance floor and for your dance.
Next on the groom's mother,
renowned physician, robotic and laser OB/GYN surgeon, and a famous Indian physician within our community, ex-company president, as well as a renowned dancer and international speaker. I'd like to invite our wonderful family friend, Dr. Sunita Shah, for a wonderful dance to bless us and bless the couple today.
And as the doctor, he has requested me for blessing of the infant couple. Just put it together with the Bible, keep the Bible and the water there. So, I won't take much time. So, just once upon a time, there was a bright, beautiful young teen in her high school. She happened to write an article for a magazine on occasion of Indian Independence Day. That was about 16 years ago. And it was expressed from the heart, admirating her grandparents, her grandfather, who was a freedom fighter, and acknowledging the sacrifices made by her parents, both of them. It touched my heart so much, I kept that page forever with me all these years until now. Kritti, who is now a young, beautiful bride to Pelican. And she wrote, I have to read this. I'm the youngest of the three in an Indian-American family, was born and raised in the United States, and I'm truly proud of my heritage. My grandfather, now 91 years old and living in India, participated in freedom struggle, and it is his blood that flowed through my vein. Oh, nice. And it is flowed through my vein. My dad was born when my grandpa was in political prison for several months. And so, just like this, she went on writing with a smooth flow of the sacrifice. She's such a young person and has so much feeling, body in herself for her roots. It really mattered a lot to me. And at that time, Dr. Batra was the president of FIA. So it was a matter of great pride. Okay. Just reading this excerpt from her article, we know that she will always respect, love, and cherish her husband's family. And she will accept their ancestry. Above all, their religion. I have firm belief in Kritti. I say so as I have known this family for more than 37 years and watched their kids grow up into fine individuals. Sharing in common with her grandparents were both my parents who served in World War II. Mommy and Dad, both of mine served. And Mommy as secretary and Daddy in secretary army. Then my mothers also suffered from the same eardrum problem because of the wartime and everything. So did your grandmother. Thus I feel fortunate and honored to be a part of this solemn union of Batra and Varghese family. Above all, grateful to be requested by Dr. Batra to bestow the blessings today for my God's grace, which nobody has known here really for past more than 3 decades, that I went to Israel, I climbed the Via Dolorosa. I was in prostration at all the stations where Jesus shed his blood. For I had prayed in the Garden of Olives, where he knelt for his last prayer. For I touched the sacred stone from where he rose at Easter. For I have visited where Joseph raised Jesus. For I have gone to the place of St. Peter's parable of the loaves, and knelt at St. Peter's Basilica, his favorite disciple. Beside that, his favorite disciple was St. John, who wrote the book of Revelation in Greece, and the only black Madonna in Seville, Spain. So this I say that because in army, Daddy put me through Roman Catholic school, so I'm very well versed with the Old and New Testament, and very fortunate for this. Sorry about this. So that's why I went to, with all full holiness, to St. Luke's, Mark's, James, and John's Gospel. Today I take this opportunity, and I'm honored, as requested by Dr. Batra and Chan, that two of you are destined to be one, and for the blessings from me. For a new beginning with fresh endeavors, challenges, and with strength, courage, and enjoyment thereafter. Both of you being a mental disorder therapist are already delivering the spiritual guidance through the earthly modes of medical healing concepts and of modern medical healing concepts, helping the sufferers and bringing them peace. This is all that matters in the world. As St. John said, I have come as light into the world, so that everyone who believes in me should not remain in darkness. Thus the light is both of you too. Whoever touches you will be harmed and will be removed. Today I bring blessings with this holy water from Lourdes, where Mother Mary gave the visitations, and a holy Bible I've always kept, which was now 121 years old. And with this, I'm going to bless you too. And so, as St. John said here in Bible, I, in the name of the Almighty and Lord, bless you too, as Samuel actually wrote, you shall salute him for blessing. You will give peace, and peace be to you, and peace be yours, and peace be in your home, and peace be for all that you have today and will have. For peace is manifested itself in health, prosperity, and joyful relationship. on behalf of all present here, and on behalf of both the present parents, I ask the blessings of the Supreme and wish your table be always bountiful and forever, and the platter of the little feet shall fulfill the joyous life of both the parents' family. So, go ahead, eat his bread with enjoyment, and drink your wine in full faith and enjoy all this from a merry heart. For God himself has long ago approved you to become forever as one. And now I shall bless you. And before blessings, I will say in Sanatan Dharam, as this is a conglomeration of two great religions, which India is very proud to have, is that the beginning of the life we say, Vakrutum Mahakarya Surakoti Samprabha Nirvedkaruma Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada. May all that you do in your life be fulfilled, all that you want. Lord Ganesha. Shanadam Dinar Paritran Parani Sarvasyati Hare Devi Narayani Namaste. Sarvangal Mangde Shri Sarvam Sadhike Shane Premke God Narayani Namaste. All the goddess reside in you, Kritti, to take to this family. You, the goddess of love, of wealth, and accept karma. I wish you to be everything for me in future. So I shall just 1 second rest them. And this is the holy water of all the ways. In the name of the Son and of the Holy Ghost. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen. God bless
Thanks, Daniel. Shortly after Kritti graduated from college, I dragged her on a trip with me to Europe. But that was after we drove all the way up the East Coast to move in our sister Conchi to Pennsylvania and then attend a anniversary ceremony for our Vijayamma and Silamamiji in Colorado. When we got to the car on day one, I asked my sisters if they wanted to drive. They said no, it's okay. Then I asked my sisters on day two if they wanted to drive. They said no, it's okay to drive. Then we moved in Conchi over the next 2 days to Pennsylvania. And our mom was really pushing us, you have to make it to Toronto on time, you have to make it to Toronto on time. So we finished up packing around 3 a.m., finished up moving my sisters and everything. Got up at 5 and started our drive to Toronto. And I asked them, just out of courtesy, if they wanted to drive. And they said, no, it's okay, you can drive. But as we approached the border, I told them they can't sleep anymore. You can't sleep in the back anymore. The customs agents want to see your face. Oh, by the way, I stopped at a gas station while you were sleeping and I got some breakfast. And here's some coffee and some bagels. And Kritti didn't say anything except a bagel. I had a bagel yesterday. Didn't you know that?
I did that today too.
As we continued on our trip, there were 2 quick themes that emerged from having such a great traveling partner. One was her appreciation of food and the different cuisines that were offered across the countries we went to in Europe. And 2 was her desire to return home and be with her niece. Now I submit to you that these 2 themes are actually intertwined as one. Kritti will get the most excited about different foods, whether it be pizza in Rome across the train station, a bagel at Niagara Falls, a Greek salad in Athens, or Chinese food in Naples, Italy. And it was evident because she would cheer up. She would go from DEFCON 5 to DEFCON 1, or whichever is the easier one to whichever is the better one. Very quickly. She would go from bad to good very quickly. And the same thing would happen whenever she met or spoke about her niece. Well, for me, it was obvious after watching how these were related. The cuisines she experienced nourished her mind and her body. But her interactions and joy with Verghese nourished her soul. And it was really that time where I realized that everything with my sister was going to be okay. Because she is sweet, kind, loving, determined, and intelligent. And if in life she has found with such conviction the 2 essential things that she needs, nourishment for her mind and body, and nourishment for her soul, then I knew everything was going to be okay. And she is so convinced in her decisions, and never wrong, by the way, to the point where when we were kids and would go out as a family to eat dinner, we would always rely on whatever Kritti ordered and ask for seconds for whatever she ordered. So she is so convinced that must mean that just like her cuisine choices, she knows what she wants, and they're always right and always great. And that must mean Verghese is the right guy and always great. And she's going to be great with him. Congratulations, Kritti and Verghese. Everyone in this room gives you all of our love.
Soon as the beat drop, we got the street stopped overseas. I put Johnny MC in the rock. I can't even see the Maldives in the spot.
Thank you so much, Nicole. That was a wonderful speech. You'll notice that you have a red envelope on the table. And don't worry, yours is coming. many blessings to the married new couple. Thank you. As a toast on behalf of my husband and me, we just want everyone to raise a glass, please, and cheers to Verghese and Kritti. Thank you so much. Water, I guess? Cheers, everyone. Salud. L'chaim.
To speak.
Yay, Dr. Kritti Batra, thank you.
All right, okay?
Well, there is limited time, so I really have to focus your attention and I have to speak first. The real picture right now is amazing what Dr. Sunita Sharan did. There's nothing we can do better than that. So, applause for that again. I want to tell you that all the people in the room today are very select people because despite all the fears about the COVID pandemic and also we didn't even realize there were many competing events going on around town. And some of them left to Goa also and came back. And Dr. Sunita Sharan was actually one of them. He went back and forth. And so we all deserve a special applause for ourselves. And it goes without saying what the MC did, Kachi and Matthew. And please, get it done. Everyone disagree about this surprise item on Lions Dance. It was just fabulous, amazing. Now, let me share with you one of the most spiritual moments which occurred to me in my life. I want to share with you. And as I said, we have limited time, so focus what I want to tell you. It was one wintry night, longest sleepless night in 1991. I was sitting with an obstetrician specialist, expert, and looking at the radiographs and culture reports and stuff like this. And it was at St. Joseph's Hospital. In those days, it used to be called Women's Hospital. And some of the OBGYNs are here in Melbourne also. Dr. Sharan is one of them, actually. So anyway, here looking at all the reports, and this is where Charles was admitted for a few days with severe infection and toxemia and high chlorophyllia, and unresponsive to the relentless, so many hardcore antibiotics, and nothing was working. So this OB fellow said, it was early morning, like 3:30. We were sitting together and he said, look at this. This woman is not going to survive. It's a risky situation and you are going to lose her. We terminate. So Krishna, what would you like to do with this? And with just a moment of intuitive reflection, I immediately said that Dr. Ladero, whatever happens, we'll deal with that. Whatever happens, we'll manage the baby. And sometimes, because of, due to profound love, some human bodies have to be separate for survival. And that was just an example, perfect example. And I think the baby also, I believe that thought that, it's too hot in here and I should better get out of it. And she was so smart. So after a couple of hours, it was like 5:35 a.m. or so. So I was lucky, I got 2 for the price of 1. And that, when they announced, okay, it is born now, so it was really, for me, I didn't know what will happen. So it got like lucky position.
felt like I got room for someone, right? Working? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, Chand and I would like to proudly present to you that little baby, one of the best psychotherapists in town.
Say that
Our
again.
bride today.
Say it again. Say the last sentence again.
Okay. So what I was saying is, Chand and I would like to present to you that little baby, one of the best psychotherapists in town, to be the bride today. And I think you will all agree with me that the woman who bore the brunt with blood and bones deserves a big applause. For creating this miracle, she deserves that. So, thank you so much. And I do remember when I went to, right after we had 2 admissions in the psychiatric hospital, that early morning I drove after a sleepless night because I had to do it. I saw Dr. Susan Prasada, who happens to be the mentor for Kritti, psychotherapy class. Like Dr. Mahabha was mentor for Nakul and Kachi and their journey to medical college. So we have many prominent people we don't have a whole lot of time to talk about. But the second part is that there was the divine connection was waiting to happen. That she, for example, when she was born, Almighty and angels were watching, obviously. And then she went to Christian school, and Bible class was like 98 out of 100, even though she was struggling with math and English. For some reason, she got the best score in Bible class. So anyway, that's it. And then she goes to St. Leo College. I chose for her to go to great university. So I don't know if you know, St. Leo College is actually the first in the nation to admit the military servicemen and women. It was a special educational program which was established in 1955. So there, Kritti meets an Alaskan Husky, and a military hero. He served in Alaska, so Alaskan Husky. Thank you so much for your service, his newly minted son-in-law. So we are really, as I said, that we were really blessed that she met Varghese, who is very intelligent, responsible, respectable gentleman, and respectful of us also, and hardworking, I must say. And we are very, very happy to meet with Cherian and Samuel family, that they have been extraordinary in their culture, discipline, education, the high values that they carry. We were so blessed to meet them. So we must have done some good deeds to deserve such union. So, and Matthew actually took us to the best Thai restaurant in Manhattan. I am not saying this just because of my speech. No, seriously, ask him that. This Thai restaurant, we have never tasted that great food, which he introduced us. So, well, again, on behalf of all the people that we are here to bless our daughter and her husband, we can raise the toast. prosperous, happy, healthy life together. And it is to God. Like was saying that where is my cell phone? This part is a little poem. I think many of you already have heard this also. This is the third edition. I did the same poem at Lakoda Kanchi's, and it's modified, so it's edition 3, like we have DSM 5, ICP 9, 10, 11, and so this is Wedding Bells 3. Wedding bells, wedding all the way. Yay for Nakul, yay for Tachi, yay for Kritti, oh yay! Once it was in Tampa Bay, then it was San Francisco Bay. Round and round it has come again back to Tampa Bay. Wedding bells, weddings all the way. Barfi, coffee, gulab jamun, dripping on your vest, dosa or samosa, ice cream is the best. Mouth-watering, watershed moment, every guest would say. Laugh, sing and dance will be motto of the day. Wedding bells, weddings all the way. It was in a temple once. It was in a Gurdwara too. This one is a Christian blessing. Every which one is true. Hindus believe all those equal, whichever way you pray. Hindus believe all those equal, whichever way you pray. Wedding bells, weddings all the way. Fiddler on the roof. Traditions. Cried my heart. I love my daughter, can't let her go astray. On the other hand, her heart and soul, her faith and happiness will speak the final say. Wedding bells, weddings all the way. Yes for Nakul, yes for Kritti, yes for Kanchi, yes for Kritti, oh yes. Thank you. I'm going to request again, it's meal, so we have Pandit Ramesh Mehta who will give us the blessings for the food. After the mantra, he will tell us English translation also.
Hello everyone. Namaste, good afternoon. I'm very, very happy to congratulate newlywed beautiful couple, Kritti and Varghese. This is a very happy moment. When Dr. Saranji was dancing, my mind said I should sing at least 2 lines of movie song with meaningful, musicful and feelingful for this couple and for you too. Just only 2 lines. And then I'm going to chant the mantras to bless the food. तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया, तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया, जिंदगी धूप तुम घना साया, जिंदगी धूप तुम घना साया, तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया,
तमन्ना की, आज फिर दिल ने एक तमन्ना की, आज फिर दिल को हमने समझाया, जिंदगी धूप तुम घना साया, तुमको देखा तो एक ख्याल आया। Now, I'm going to take off my shoes and I'm going to change my drum. So we are asking, is this invocation of goddess of food, Annapurnama and the Supreme Lord, O Lord, O Bhagavan, please bless this food so may we have healthy and happy long life. Thank you for this food because you are the creator of all this food. You are the universal parents, we are your children. This is the mantra. Om Annavatenasya Nodasyaname Sukvinaha Prapradakarantārika Urjanno Dedipade Sanchadukpade Annapurne Sadapurne Sankara Pranavallabhe Gnana Vairagya Siddhyartham Viksham Dehi Cha Parvati. May God bless you all. Wish you all the best and especially wish you all the best, newlywed couple. God bless you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Panditji. Thank you to my partner MC, Mr. Matthew Samuel. Cheers, guys. You did it. Would you like to say something? Okay. Well, everyone, we reached the end of our program. Congratulations, you made it through. Hopefully you enjoyed some. Yes. And now we'd like to feed you. We'd like to put some food in those stomachs. So please join us. Please join the happily wedded couple and our families, the Batra family, as well as the Samuel and Charian family, to eat. So enjoy and let's have fun. Thank you.
You might just have to get back encouraged in here. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, you're not hugging? Oh, you got the. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for praying and dancing. Okay. Appreciate it. I'm trying to graduate. I will. I'm going to say we got to try and graduate. Okay. I have one more semester. Okay.
One, count on.
One. Too late. It's too late.